The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito, bullet holes, and an RCM sticker. Other than developing a personal relationship, looks like you were right. You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what sounds like a couple of letters. About a week's worth of mail as collected in there. They'll empty this very soon. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slut Everard. You know he's going to play you somehow.
Can I help you?
What is this thing? What, the interior decorating kind? You know, I'm sorry. This is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess? So, I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
This was mostly about the fucking cardio. Massive cardio here. You'll live till 90, or you get a heart attack from running.
No, you don't. It's not happening.
He tries not to look at you. It's dangerous to acknowledge the karaoke man.
It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44. Okay, yes, it's for some clients. Ha! Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got stolen.
The man in the vest and the violet shirt stares at the tape you've just given him. He begins to frown. This is the look of a man who's defeated. He knows he's out of excuses.
Fine, fine. Climb on that stage and do your thing. Just get out of my hair. I'll plug it in for you. Damn this karaoke machine.
I'm having it uninstalled, he mumbles to himself. Oh yeah, time to do the damage.
Boy, am I ever so grateful to you, officer. But I'm not the only one who wants to thank you.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you. Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie. Mexican origin. The pin is an antique. Quite special.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes. Note, you don't have any new winning tactics to get the woman to spill the beans about cryptids.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden... I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5, in Betancourt, in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there. The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it.
She had no fear, just surprise.
I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds. I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there, knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case. Our first, yes.
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet. You feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady suddenly.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Immediately, a loud feedback noise startles the room. You feel like an amateur. How are you supposed to hold the mic? Should you just sing into it? Where should you stand? Hands. Where do you put your hands? Does someone feel like throwing up? I do. A little. There are some people out there, but mostly a post-meridian slumber has fallen on the premise. Not super lively. It would be wiser to perform in the evening, no? But the choice is yours. Yes, you can always do it in the evening. It will be less scary with a lot of people.
I couldn't possibly shower thanks on you as enthusiastically as my wife has, but I am grateful for your assistance, officer.
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial, but inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps.
Good. Okay. And? Completely empty?
Surprise! tempered with fear and trepidation. He doesn't know what to think yet. Maybe you're joking?
No locusts? No phasmid either?
That's not ideal, but... I definitely left that one stocked.
Right from the campsite? Just
Yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locusts and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps. Make them more secure.
Another trip to the reeds. Why don't you try convincing Morell his hypothesis is invalid?
Thank you for the vote of no confidence, Gary. An officer. I appreciate your concern, but please leave this to the experts. Unless you have an alternative hypothesis you'd like to venture.
You're jabbing at the soft underbelly of his psyche. He realizes he's gotten defensive.
Actually, no. Excuse me for getting emotional. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too. My gratitude, and the gratitude of the Société Cryptozoologique de Ravachol, is...
Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened? Some kind of foul play might be afoot. Theft? Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken. Most likely the hands of a young person. Hands small enough to fit inside the trap, too. You should ask the red-headed boy, Kuno.
A little hooligan. But what would a child want with bags?
Oh, my dear Morell. You've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much as they love to torment old folks. Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please, let us know whatever you turn up. I have a feeling we're getting so close.
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
After this is your last chance to talk to Gary.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here. I'd love to play suzerainty, but...
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal it, even if it's bugs. Morell, it's been fun, really, but I need a bath and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done, I gotta run.
No need to apologize, Gary. You'd be more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of suzerainty today, though. We're gonna follow this through. Hell no. I had no idea. And I'm still cross with him, to be honest. It's not like him. He's got his quirks, but dishonesty, disloyalty are not one of them.
I don't know what got into him, officer. Thank you for letting him off easy. He won't forget it. We'll make sure he won't.
Fairweather T500. Remember that weakness you were looking for in the ceramic armor? Like, maybe it can only stop small, fast projectiles, but a large, slow-moving pry bar would shatter it? Or, if I run an electrical current through it, maybe it will melt. Or, personal favorite, frequency something something radio weapon? None of that would work. You need to shoot the part of the enemy that doesn't have Fairweather T500 on it, because the armor itself is invulnerable. Good news is, so are the armor pieces on you.
It's you again. What is it?
Kuno's like Kuno's dad. Kuno doesn't give a fuck about anything. No, Kuno doesn't give a fuck about books.
Oh my god, I told you that shit is lame!
Shut up, see.
Now they're gonna take you to lame prison! Deny everything, Kuno. You need to lawyer up.
Kuno's not gonna say anything without his lawyer present.
There's definitely something going on here. Remember his pig's head shack? You should check it out.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud, dotted with little holes for windows. Sounds like you found the locust detective. Heaps of leaves are rotting among the mud-caked towers. Dozens of little locusts feed on them, buzzing away with vicious joy. Kuno has really outdone himself here. It's an ode to self-expression.
Kuno's like Kuno's dad. Kuno doesn't give a fuck about anything. Yeah, Kuno took the books, so what?
So it wasn't a phasmid. A wave of disappointment washes over you.
They're not pets. Don't you know what locusts are? When they come out of the fucking sky. Fucking descendant shit.
Stop!
You stop. It's like they're fucking night. Locust City, Night City, City of Rage.
The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort. The lameness is causing her physical pain. The damage may be permanent.
Maybe I am.
Oh my god, Kuno! He's gonna make you totally lame in, like, 3 seconds! Don't let him, Kuno!
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free. Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants. Kuno can make himself into a... Kuno doesn't give a shit.
Don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno! You'll have to take me away!
In it, you hear snow melting, dripping from the eaves. Someone closing a window. Without a word, she disappears entirely behind the fence. For once, the boy is lost for words. He turns completely red now, with splotches of white beginning to appear across his face. Use this momentary confusion to take control of the situation.
I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. C was right.
The girl's face appears again, above the fence, just long enough to make eye contact with Kuno.
The fuck are they trying to catch anyway? With the traps?
He recognizes the name.
Bitches think Kuno doesn't know shit. The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired of this shit.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design, that is. I know you're skeptical, but I have a good feeling about this. So it was just a child.
Thank you for telling us, sweetie. This is good news, right? It means we can try again.
Something is secretly gnawing at her confidence. It's not this Kuno kid or the missing locusts. It's something else.
Yeah, you're right. We just need to restock the empty trap. Then we'll need to inspect the traps one more time. And then maybe we can.
He has a 38-degree fever. His resilience has given way.
Darling, I told you to take it easy. You're getting sick. Maybe it's time to go home.
You're right, you're right. We can come back next season, when it's warmer. Really? It's too much, officer.
What Morel means is we're grateful for your help.
Here's a fresh batch of locust. I should slide right down the funnel. And thank you again. We will definitely mention you, should this lead to a discovery. I'm not talking co-discovery, of course, but,
Wow. Co-discovery. You'd be famous. You'd show them all. This does tingle the pleasure center. This would show them all. We need to get you on that list of discoverers. No question about that. The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it. The trap stands empty near the reeds. No insect sounds or movement around. Only the reeds' apprehensive hissing. The locusts, dazed from being transported, slowly begin to acclimate to their new surroundings. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Hello, dear. It's good to see a familiar face. Thank you for doing that, dear. Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him. I'm sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many times. Such is field work. A young person's game, as they say. Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
You've come so far. You can't leave those locusts there, waiting on the ghost reed with no one to witness when it appears.
That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming down with a cough yourself.
Fuck that cough. It's not happening. The insides of your lungs are lined with tobacco, a powerful antibacterial agent. You are unstoppable. Very strange. Why is she not letting me do this? It's like she's given up. There's really no point in manipulating anyone. You're chummy. Just go on and ask.
Oh, I'd be delighted. No, it's the cryptid. Oh, yes. The eight-eyed teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said. Until it was sighted by renowned Gottwaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in 21. Of course, sweetie. Do you want to hear about another cryptid? The Territorn is by many accounts the greatest, though. Of course, dear. Different? How? I'm not. It's not bad. It's a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer.
And when a police officer asks, you must answer.
Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream? Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not. Morel's so proud of it. He always tells everyone. No, at least I don't think I did, but Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the phasmid's existence, that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That. And for years, his belief made me believe too. But now, we're both getting old, and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was.
But it has, hasn't it? A seed can only bear what's inside. The seed of love is black and oily. It has a taste you're quite familiar with.
You might be right, Detective. I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I came in on our first date. If I weren't the queen of the cryptozoologists, I didn't tell him that story.
She has to swallow to relax her throat. It's keeping her from talking.
Maybe. But then why do I not dare tell him? I've wasted enough of your time with this drama. I really must stop talking about it lest I start crying and waste more of your time. What you have to know is the Insulindian phasmid probably does not exist. Let us fools chase our ghosts. There are a million better things to do with your life. I'm not sure of anything. Sometimes I still see it, you know. The real memory. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart.
Rising, unfolding from the reeds on a hot summer's day, like a benevolent god.
Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary. Oh, sweetie, please don't get stuck on a dream. Take it from me and Morel. Okay, it's 1113 Tabernacle Road, Jamrock, but... Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered. And then a taxi home. It's not so bad. You too, sweetie. Thank you for everything, truly. Even though it turned out to be a
dream. A fool's hope. Say her lips moving in silence. Like that, she drives off. The gas engine putters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, the cold, coastal wind blows.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair. The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a future and proven to be a true man of the left. I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table. I did not, Harry, although I am very, very glad he's dead. Why, a war, of course. Victory, Harry. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war. Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1, and that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste. Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear often.
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance. Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start. It's already happening. 2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labor organization in Revachol. And they're all well motivated. At least the ones you've seen.
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of everything. We've been running back channel negotiations with all the major clients. I think the company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
That's drugs.
Drug trade? Now you're being stupid, Harry. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Summer and Isola. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities.
Wow. A neurochemical, psychoactive labor uprising stroke hostile takeover.
The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column. We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his benefit and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off risperidone. I'm an old-fashioned guy, Harry. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned. But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share, and I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez. It's also far removed from my men and the people of Martinez who've put their trust in me. Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who want to start businesses. Models who want to walk catwalks and steel welders who want to weld steel. I'm gonna unite them all into one economic body. We're gonna incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's gonna be in on the wealth, and everyone's gonna pull their weight.
Let's keep focusing on the drug trade. He was almost admitting to it.
No, Harry. That's boring. All right, it's gone. The hypothetical raw materials trade is off the table. It's such a small and insignificant slice of revenue, I'm cutting it. Boys, Harry felt queasy about it. We're not doing it. Can we talk about my beautiful incorporated Martinez and its many-sided business ventures now? This bold new vision of incorporated socialism I'm offering? Thank you, Harry, thank you. You have no idea how much it means to me, because in many ways, you are that working man. You have already done so much work. We're way past specific union members now. This is the big time. We're talking about the future of Revachol here, Harry. You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But I'm in big-time mode, Harry.
There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big-time mode.
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me, but it had to be done. An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character. So watch out.
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described as terrifying.
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway, the neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debardeurs Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
Waving the gun around doesn't sound good. None of this does.
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff.
She will be there from 2200 hours till 0200 hours.
Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debardeurs Union. This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back. Sure, mister. Absolutely. I'm always willing to help out nice fellows such as yourself. Mr. Everett doesn't really want me to talk to people about union guys. But who did you want to talk about? Mr. Edgar is Mr. Everett's brother. He looks a bit younger, he does, but a very smart fellow. Very smart fellow indeed. He's away on some union business. Not even in Revershaw, they say. Huh? Sure, mister. What is it? He's a union man through and through. Good guy. He's very calm, laid back, doesn't do much, talks to Everett sometimes. Honestly, I don't know what he does for us, but it must be important because everybody likes him. Yes, they do. I think that's what he does. He makes everyone feel a little better. Oh, Titus is a longshoreman through and through. He was born on a boat, they say. His veins are probably filled with salt water, I tell you. Nice, friendly sort, old Titus is. Whoa, he's really something. He doesn't talk much to me usually, but when he does, I don't really understand most of what he's saying. Actually, I don't think he would like me running my mouth about him like that. Once he said he's a dragon to this mob fellow who came picking a fight with some union men. I think he really believes Jean-Luc was a dragon because he ran right off. Another time he almost killed another guy, but I shouldn't talk about that.
That's precisely what he is. Everard's dragon.
I'd best not. I mean, I could, but I don't think Mr. Everett would like it very much. You better ask him yourself, mister. The Night Guard. Ooh, he's a peculiar fellow. He's the strong, silent type, you could say. We talk all the time, but I don't really know much about him. He plays petanque with my old human studies teacher, Mr. Martin, down at the plaza. I think he's the only fellow who actually knows old Renee. They lived on the same street their entire lives, even dated the same girl on and off for as long as I can remember. Strange fellows. Mr. Martin was always real nice to me in school. I remember once. Mr. Martin, yes. Don't really remember much about him. I was just a boy back then. Sure, mister. What can Leo do for you?
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened. dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches, light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket, hanging from it, a bronze key. Someone hid the key in the bush and attached a yellow ribbon to make it easier to find.
Huh?
I don't know about that. I'm comfortable here. Don't think any sliding would really help right now.
Sorry, fucko. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. Good fucking luck with that. The hawthorn's got a bitch of a bite.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch, and slides it across the table to you. The key is brass. Workshop spear is etched into its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun. Where's the harm in...
I'm tired of listening to your shit. Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key.
That's an older building. Who knows?
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue is for mystery. The key fits the dimple lock. It takes a bit of effort to turn it after all these years, but then the lock clicks. Dust rises before you like mist. A tomb? Haunted by regal spirits from distant ages. No. Smells like engine grease and cut wood. A workshop. Over there, in the corner. Not just any pinball machine. This is the pinnacle of pinball. Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats. It's lit. You can't wait to get your hands on it. Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats reads the golden lettering on top of the back box. There's a small column of text underneath. The machine is coin-operated. Get the game on, Fingerboy. Those flippers are ready. Above the painting of a mustached man climbing a hill, a column reads, inspired by the legend of Cornelius Gordy, taken on the world's tallest peak, Corpus Muindi. The Mesk legend holds that when the nation is in danger, heroic Gordy shall return and save his people. The theme of the game is to explore Gordy's climb through the perspective of goats and to ascend to the top of the mountain in a time of trouble. The peak of the mountain is at the top of the playfield. All the bulls have small goat icons on them and represent the goats as they race up and down the mountain. Areas around the playfield represent Gordy's climb, places he was said to have camped, which the goats can discover. Get them to the summit. Indeed, think of them as bulls. It takes a while to get into a rhythm, but pretty soon you're able to keep 3 goat-faced bulls in play with relative ease. Go, go, finger boy. Your game is definitely improving. The jolly goats are flying all over the board, and although a few plummet to their deaths, you're never left with less than 3. Suddenly, a special passage leading to the summit slides open at the top of the board. This is where the bulls need to go. Maneuvering a goat ball into a position for a perfect hit isn't easy. More fall to their deaths. But finally, the opportunity presents itself. One of them gets through. Tiny hammer shatters something inside the machine. Something blasts. The words "Pale Rupture" light up on the speaker panel, and the machine starts filling with a thick, milky fog. Something's happening. There's so much fog, you can barely see anything. Some is actually leaking out of the machine, and one by one, your goats start slipping, disappearing into the milky nothingness. This can be navigated. The bulls leave almost imperceptible disruptions in the fog. Use them to calculate where they hit next. Hit the pads as fast as you can. Maximum attack. Not even a bullet can get through. You're down to your last goat, going mostly by sound. Eyes are useless at this point, but that goat is something special. 5 times you snatch him back from the jaws of death. How, if you can't even see it? The last goat plummets into the fog with almost suicidal glee. There goes nothing, finger boy. This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The latticed cage is open, inviting you to step inside. Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right, and just enough room for 2 people to fit in. The maintenance card under the control panel reads, Last maintenance, 10th July, 88. There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descend, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken. The deep scratches on the floor suggest it was used as a freight elevator for transporting heavy machinery and 1 man. So this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them up, a long time ago. Everything is covered with dust now. Yes, pinball hasn't enjoyed a heyday for 15 or 20 years. Yes, Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade. A creak. Some dust falls off a shelf. And it has been forgotten. Now there is only 1 working machine in the main hall. The rest is lost to dust. But then it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection. Yes, it would mean that. And God would not like that. He should probably be made aware that his establishment is part of the neighborhood ghost story. You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor. The dust has not settled again where these footprints have been made. The displacement in this dusty hell tells a story. Neither the footprints nor the dust speak their secrets, but you know it means that someone has been back here. Large prints, most likely made by boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than vamp. The soles have left a pattern, uniform, horizontal lines. One person has been here. They've gone back and forth. The tips point both ways. The footprints are of one type. They do not congratulate you for correctly recognizing what type they are not. The footprints do not speak. They simply exist here, a product of the dust, just as the footprints outside are a product of the mud and apparently different shoes. The footprints go up the length of the room and back down. That is all they do. The footprints are still there. They have told their story. You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere. You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural there. Sensationally unnatural. If your mesolimbic reward pathway were to venture a guess, one of the bottles is probably being put somewhere it doesn't belong. The door is small but heavy looking. It's barred from the inside. The door is small but heavy looking. It's barred from the inside.
Officer, what brings you up here in the rain? Yeah? I did not. Mystery solved then. I kept wondering where it led.
There may be more to this mystery at some later time. She's holding back. Let's make a mental note for now.
Huh. This isn't good.
She's straight as a stick, suddenly. She feels like quarry, encircled. Her eyes dart to the door.
A peephole? You mean like a hole in the wall? Okay.
A jitter of fear and disgust moves through her body, beginning from her shoulders and ending in her hips. The cigarette tastes foul to her now.
Do you think this is somehow connected to me? Okay. Do you have any way of knowing how long it has been there? God, where is it? I think I need to cover it up. Thank you. Shit, I don't know. Maybe it's been there for a long time. Maybe the local kids use it or something. I don't know. I'll be fucking covering it up with a lot of tape, that's for sure. Was there anything else back there? Okay. I'm glad someone's had fun. Mm-hmm. All right.
The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet. You feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady suddenly.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
The air is thick with anticipation. Someone dims the lights as the music starts. A lump's in your throat suddenly.
I would often go there to the tiny church there, the smallest church in Sanson. Though it once was larger, how the real may rest there, down through the mist there, towards the Seven Sisters, towards those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there in the tiny yard there. I have been so glad here, looking forward to the past here. But now you're all alone. None of this matters. At all.
hear that? It's the most pathetic applause in the world, Harry. Made of pity. No one liked you. You hear, or think you hear, uncomfortable shifting around. A bit of laughter, maybe. No one saying anything.
I'm gonna unplug the mic now, okay?
Someone walks out of the room, by the front door. Some woman. Is it because of you?
That's it. I'm unplugging it.
That's it. You're unpowered.
Wow. Just wow. I hope you really enjoyed yourself up there. Had a cathartic experience. Because for the rest of us, that really sucked. How can I forget about it? It was unforgettable. Another thing. Great. I love those. Oh, okay. Well, I did hear you make noise back there, so good for you.
He's really holding himself back here. It takes a lot of willpower not to ask. Obviously, he's been wanting to know what's behind the door.
Okay, what is back there? Ha! I knew it. I've always wondered where those machines by the door came from. And they told me there was some kind of pinball thing here too. I knew it. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean. No, I was just wondering if you found pinball machines there. Those machines are whirling property. But if it makes you feel any better, I'm not planning to sell them. It wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here. Other than the hellish karaoke machine. That one's always causing trouble.
Sounds like he cares about the place. He's not going to be overjoyed to hear that it's part of the doomed commercial area. He should still know. You have to be forewarned about these things.
What? Why would you say that? We're at a completely different address from that whole thing.
So he knows of the doomed commercial area.
Everyone knows of it. Obviously it hasn't. Look at the pre-revolutionary tile work. This is an old, proud building. So what if there was a little pinball hall here before? For 14 years, man. That's how long I've worked here. I've kept this place up through hail and through sleet. Fuck me, if some doom ghost, some real estate management company, they never come around here, just collect money from afar. Honestly, I think some money laundering might be involved. Well, it sure as hell wasn't the real estate company. You look surprised. What? It's a great name, I know. Cafeteria managers come up with great names too. It's from a song. Hail, Holy Queen, by the Ateniers. Hail, Holy Queen of the Sea. You're whirling in rags, you're vast and you're sad. Yeah, It's slowly growing on me again. It's beautiful in its own way, especially for this neighborhood. I've been trying to keep it that way, even if it is part of the damn doomed commercial area. I don't place much stock in the curse and so on, but the label frightens the clientele. Who wants to stay at a doomed hostel? Everything's doomed enough without that. Luck has got nothing to do with it. I need to think about where I'm going to place those pinballs. I have a feeling they're going to help. So, if you didn't have anything else to tell me about my establishment, can we, wrap it up?
What wall?
I'll have it fixed at once. Thank you for letting me know. I assure you, the Whirling does not abide spying on its guests.
The color has drained from his face. What a shame to fix such a good peephole.
Thank you. I'll patch it up personally. Was there something else about the establishment? I hope not. Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why these degenerates do what they do. I thought we had one good guest in the building. Yeah, well, she's not a guest, is she? Anyway, I'll forward that woman her bill and be done with it. Now, was there anything else? Yes?
It's you again. What is it?
The room is silent. The leader does not flinch. Get further in there.
What are you looking at, copper?
I don't know what went wrong the last time. You have so many good ideas here. Make them all see they're puppets on a string.
No, we fucking ain't, asshole. No one's fiddling anyone in here.
No, Glenn. I want to hear this. Who do you think is fucking fiddling me?
Oh, you want more good options? Here we go.
Yeah. What is happening to you? Were you on narcotics?
At least he put the fucking fiddle down. I've seen this before, Titus. Addict cops. They got access to confiscate the drugs, and then they start experimenting.
You better not OD in our booth, cop. Make sure you get out before you keel over.
I do not understand. This fiddle play totally fell apart. The concept was solid, but the delivery tragically off. You sounded like a madman, not a cop. A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity. As you step closer, you notice fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments. smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Oh no, it was already glowing and now it's also making a sound? It's probably some alien CO-like technology. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the ear.
Good evening. Votre accident on Saint-Brun. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
This is a human interface. A retired person sitting behind a switchboard somewhere.
I have two machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on Saint-Brun, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine.
Saint-Brun, that's the church. Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, the doomed commercial area.
Anything else I can help you with? The filament you have inserted into the core. I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Is this the personal log? Good. Please repeat the password. No. I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder for trace accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament. Now, can you please repeat the password? Received. I will register this login attempt.
That sounds bad. A login attempt. Something a criminal would do.
Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Sleep well, votre accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons.
Oh, hey, wait. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love.
Coffee in the back. Something familiar about that. Coffee and stale cookies.
Too many times, essay. You need it for something. Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death. What you think of that? Makes me almost pity la niñita pequeña when I hear it. Look, man, I'm at liberty to talk about the sacred blaze of the mother's glorious heart, but not about the coffee. I think we're done here, essay.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good evening. Votre accident on Saint-Brun. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log? Good. Please repeat the password. Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Sleep well, votre...
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal. The first entry made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author. is short and concise. Arrived at the church, the door was boarded up, so I used a crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. 6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. See? Even one of the spookers themselves says it's unnerving. What was that about narcotics? This could prove to be interesting. See? Ridden with narcotics, just like Andre said. 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking Esca series, something advanced. 8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simon for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right. 12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m. 25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics. A shiver runs through you as you look to your left, toward the silence. 28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the Swallow is real and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work. That disco man must be a cell. March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles, crackers, ping energy drinks, water, toothpaste, gum. Also some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
Yes, you are breaking in, but not into her radio computer. You're a master circuit bender.
Well, you won't find any music venue organizers here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything. What is it? Yes. Or no. Not anymore. That project is dead.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper. I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
That still doesn't answer what she's doing in an abandoned church.
No. Yes. And? No, you're right. I'm not. I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything. I use the AR-1 as my RAIN prefix processing unit. Mm-hmm. Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you? All right. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna. I guess it is. So far I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been surprisingly stable. But it's not the cheapest one on the market. So I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieus dedicated to that sort of thing. I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core, the light casting her face in a strange shadow.
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point? I really need to focus on something.
It's not just rudeness. It really is hard to concentrate on whatever she needs to do, and you're not helping.
They are connected to my RAIN prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay? Thanks. Great. You really like those questions, don't you?
They're bloodshot. She really hasn't been getting much sleep lately, has she?
I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out. I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said.
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that. Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
That's a little above your pay grade at the moment.
You measure it by its surroundings, by that which does exist, which is what I've been trying to do. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins. But honestly, it's not progressing very well. Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark, most of the tower disappearing into the shade. Strange things may flourish in the dark.
There's this place at the back of the church, a place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow, and the higher you go, the less you record. I know. No, I don't. Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work. Great. Thanks. What? I hate it. Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music. This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here. Take a guess, why don't you? I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you? Thanks.
Hello again. Hello again. Hello again.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands. She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup. The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
What is? I know. I'll stick to it. So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer? Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to. What is it? Oh, really? So, the thing that's been eating you is the slow pace of social progress. Okay, so you're not that upset, it sounds like. Uh-huh. And you're sure it's social progress you're distressed about, and not, I don't know, some chick?
Perhaps.
Okay. Why'd you think that? Well, man, that's pretty symbolic, don't you think? Okay, what else? There you have it then, chick trouble. Not political after all. Who was she? Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this chica. Are you sure? Wow, man, that's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you? How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing? Yeah, or it might just be some psych bullshit, you know? Königstein wank. You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich. You're welcome. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten, though. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch.
Yes, but it itches really, really bad. What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez. It's also about that, but it's also more. Perhaps it's the hangover. Perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin. But something tells you it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. I knew we could trust you. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol. When that real democracy kicks in, we are all going to be so much happier.
Hi again. So, how are things going? And? What happened? Oh man! Who is he? What did you think? Really? Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church? No matter. Is he gonna be a problem? Yeah, Noid is right. Let's get back to the point. What are we gonna do about him?
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
But he's likely up to no good. He's a crab man. A menace to society. I dunno, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper.
I guess it's not a massive problem, now that I think of it.
Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light. Yeah! Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes? Did you see her? A programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub? Come on, man. Who will you trust? The spooky programmer or us? We just want to make the world a better place. Feel the love! Get down and feel it! You'll get there, believe me. When we've got our gear set up, things will be flowing and pumping. Anyway, now that it's settled, how did she see? I mean, disposition-wise, about the dance club idea. Ja oder nein? Rocking it or dropping it?
What a pity. That's my favourite thing in the world. And she doesn't like it at all.
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam and into a laser-lit future of dance and unity? Unity! Dance! And you can't just evict her?
Look at you, honour man.
No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure there's a workaround. We can make a deal not to bother her. If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the joy and ecstasy of music. The lines in the dark exist. Coexist.
At least Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard. He'll understand.
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like Nordic dance music? Wonderful! If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you, what do you think? Excellent! Good luck, my friend. Goodbye, officer.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
A number of things don't add up. Let's take a look.
What things?
He senses something is wrong.
Fuck, man. It's difficult to get along with some people, but we're trying to make an effort. We are on a mission here. I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
What do you mean, friend? It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speaker. What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing.
He said it was for his nose. What more do you want? And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
Make up your mind. First it's the sweat, then it's the ether. No shit. That's... Come on, that's... I meant to say, not true. What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing.
Or else?
Okay, man, okay. Things are just so hard for an entrepreneur in this city right now. It's not like we lied when we said we want to turn a church into the wickedest club in East Revershoal. Because we do! We totally do! We just need to turn it into a speed lab before.
To get our foot in the door.
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up. No, man, they're spooky all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there. But the sign was way off too. I couldn't feel the love at all. Whatever you think is right, sir. But please, we were only trying to make a living.
This is it. Judgment time.
Yeah! I knew it. It's impossible now. No, Andre, it's harder now. This hard cop has come to show us how much the fish is, and the fish is always so much more. We all know there was never going to be a club for Nordic music with the Speed Lab. Now it has a fighting chance. There needs to be a club for Nordic music in there. Needs to. Everyone hates each other. Everybody hates it here. It's all just drugs and we're slaves and I can't. We are running out of time. We need a win, Andre. I promise this will be a win. We won't cook speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and real and beautiful. This will be a victory for the light.
This will be nothing. You can hear the ice crack underneath you. Outside, the last century waterfront development is crumbling in the wind. A grape-shot row of falling houses. And so is Rue de Saint-Jérôme and all the houses on Main Road. The old cinema is sinking underneath Villa La Bosse.
What? Okay, we'll try to do it without the drugs. We'll do a straight club up in there, spinning the maddest reels, and nothing but, I swear to God. Okay, Egg? From here on, it'll be straight all the way. Goodbye, officer.
Yes, what is it? I don't want to make anything work. Yes, anything. I don't want to make anything work.
It's not the anodic dance music that's made her bitter. It's the failure of Fortress Accident.
That's right. If we couldn't get our Welkins to happen, I don't want anything to happen. Ever again.
There's not a trace of irony in her voice. She means it. Hey, what makes the world go round? She stares at the terminal, completely oblivious to her surroundings. Hey, maybe if you were to find out more about her previous company, Fortress Accident, you'd have something new to say. The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface. According to the note, someone named Sulislav. Perhaps someone who belonged to the defunct radio computer company. Sounds like a question for a detective.
Yes, what is it? The swallow, you mean? What about it? Great. Thanks. Yes, what is it?
Put your hands where I can see them. Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now!
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease. You shouldn't be here. Something's very wrong with her. She's completely out of control.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer, under duress! Officer, under duress!
Her eyes bulge with terror. Veins protrude on her forehead.
I am the police. Don't move. Don't move. Hands on your head. Suspect is armed and dangerous. Lateral vascular neck restraint. Carotid sleeper. Carotid sleeper. Critically reducing blood from passing through the neck of the suspect.
The situation looks bad. Calm yourself. Steady your breathing. This is dangerous. You're 70% certain you always leave your gun loaded.
It's the goddamn police shitbag. Hug the pavement. You're under arrest.
As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampoules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police gear on her back. Medicine? Or drugs? Magnesium, Duramine, maybe even speed. My God, she has speed on her. What else?
Confiscated contraband. Restricted access. 2 kilos missing. Eyewitness report compromised. Back up. Back up! Back up! Status unconfirmed! Law enforcement compromised! Impersonating a police officer! License and registration! License and registration! Come in, dispatch! Sector azimuth!
She's losing it. One twitch and there would be blood. Alright, here's how we do it. As soon as that gun isn't pointed at you again, you dash right. Then immediately close the distance. Left hand grabs the barrel, right one breaks the wrist. A drop of sweat runs down your nose, and in it you see the Martinez inlet wrapped in the night. In the abandoned fish market, two figures face each other in a spectacular light show. One of them is forced to stare into the 3 empty barrels of a gun. Not an uncommon sight in the neighborhood.
What? This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This police gun always has bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
She looks devastated. Grab the gun, right?
No one ever cares anymore. Why would they treat me like this?
Okay, you need to figure out what to do with her now.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there. The catatonic woman, especially now that she's unarmed, doesn't seem to be a threat to anyone but herself.
Please leave the radio on. Mr. Moran is on Channel 8.
Reflex to what? Being left alone? She stands motionless, just a heap of clothes and flashes now. Maybe if you search her once more. The woman stands slumped. She looks catatonic under her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Is one of those things a police cap? There were narcotics in there too. She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. You take the vial of Pyrrolidon and the bottle of speed as evidence, obviously. She didn't consume them. She didn't look high. She confiscated them, a little like you are doing now. The old woman doesn't react to your touch.
It's you again. What is it? What's that, copper? You want us to help little old ladies now? Yeah. We'll send someone out. Who is? Wait. It's the pigs, isn't it? God. Poor lady. Don't worry. We'll handle this. I think she got some family in Kuron or something. Bastards left her alone when she got sick. We've been getting complaints.
Hey, wasn't Everard's B team looking for her the other day? They said something about her, I don't know, finding something?
Yeah, I think you're right, Gene. She have something of yours, Big? No? Well, whatever then, copper.
No. They totally said what it was. What was it? Anyone remember?
I don't remember. I was fucking drunk.
Let me know if you figure it out back there. Now, anything else we can help you with? Auntie LaPlante, we always called her. Something LaPlante.
Marianne, amigo.
Be anything else you wanted to know? Was? Like before. Just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago. Never come to visit. Never took her calls. She gets out every now and then. She did right by lots of us when we were kids. Always was a little off, but still.
The children kept her together.
Get wanted to be a cop, you mean? Well, shit. I don't actually know. Anyone know why she started acting like a pig?
No fucking clue. It's gotta be the crazy. Who'd want to be a pig? Respectable professions don't shoot kids, Cerdo. They don't beat confessions out of prisoners.
Easy there, Al. Sit down. We got one of our own to take care of, so let's not get worked up. Dunno. She lives by the water. Shit washes up all the time on the beach. No problemo, cop man. We take care of our mentally ill here in Martinez. Ain't that right, boys?
Sure enough, we're the real heroes on these streets.
Wow, so someone's been a little boring. Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. The brown. No need to be defensive. The regularity, the brownness, the cut and dry have their appeal. A very standard appeal. Of course you do. And maybe some black shoes or a pristine white shirt to go with that. It's official. My lord's Copo type is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. I'll send out telefax. Done and done. No actual communiques will be sent, of course. That would be too dramatic. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice, you slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy here. No, this is going to need something else. Some kind of super pry bar. Don't even try to open it with a regular pry bar. You're just wasting your time. If you want to try again, then you need to have the pry bar in your hand.
Equip the pry bar by go...
The dusty radio computer. The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Something's missing. There's no tape in the player. It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment. Like a smooth drawer, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. Nothing happens. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good evening, Fortress Accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeat Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Good. Please repeat the password. Good. I've unlocked the production schedule. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Fortress Accident, is there anything else I can do for you today? Thank you, and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard. With a quiet determination, the printer starts printing, a piece of paper unfolding like a handheld fan. A black crisscross of letters covers its surface. It's a project report written by the lead producer, Andrew Andy Schott, about Whirl Untethered, a radio game developed by Studio Fortress Accident. The first few pages give an overview of the capital and workforce, while the rest of it seems to be a production schedule. In its short time of existence, Fortress Accident SCA managed to burn through truly insane amounts of money. The first tranche of seed financing brought in 150,000 Ria, but then came the delays. Eventually, the damage reached 400,000 Ria, with only half of the game finished. 400,000 Real? You're my yo. These guys knew how to party. Let's just say it was a real adventure for their Igaunian investor. Fortress Accident employed 18 people, the bulk of the team composed of writers and concept artists. There were also radio programmers, sound engineers, a CEO, 2 marketing experts, and a single overburdened producer who developed a habit of popping Pyrrolidon in the basement to escape his obligations. But on the other hand, their obligations were piling up at an inhumane rate, a rate that could only be amended by Pyrrolidon. Why did Fortress Accident have so many concept artists? It didn't. No, definitely not. A few more producers could have come in handy though, especially when dealing with writers, some of whom routinely skip to work because of mental health issues and extremely unprofessional sleep schedules. One of them even managed to steal some valuable company property before skipping town for good. The production schedule depicts their glorious descent into bankruptcy. Not the concept artists. It wasn't even the writers, with their panic attacks and 3-hour lunches. It was impossible not to fail. The project was too large, and no amount of money could satiate the ever-expanding ambitions of the development team. They tried to make a 4 million Real game with 400,000 in their bank account. They thought they could bridge the gap with pure willpower and imagination. They couldn't. No, even then, success remained within an ever-narrowing margin of possibility that, despite everything, never entirely disappeared. That is, until they discovered the Valley of the Heads. At the 11th hour, the lead designer, Jimsk-born Sulisław Jalisa, decided that what Whirl Untethered needed was a secret mystical location at the extreme edge of the map. This place was to be the Valley of the Heads, where the heads of all the headless constructs could be found. The player would have been able to choose a head for their headless party member, and each head would have been voiced on air by a professional actor. The world had never seen their kind before, and might never again. So many. The last count, there were approximately 10,000 heads for 10,000 headless men, all of which could be endlessly recombined. Do you really want to know? There seems to be a calculation here, but it may take a while. Good call. It's more than the number of atoms in the observable universe. Well, yeah, that and the catastrophic data loss. On the nature of the data loss, there's ominously little information in the production log. It comes at the very end where things get fuzzy and dark, where tables and numbers seem to vanish into an eerie nothingness before the Egonian investors pulled the plug. What is clear is that one day an unidentified numeric anomaly occurred on the East Insulindian Lintel front, just as the World Untethered project was being compiled that day. When the project was returned, it was completely blank. The team spent weeks on the phone with Lintel, the service provider, but despite their diagnostics, they could never produce a satisfactory explanation or pay for the loss. Mysteriously enough, it seems that the off-site copy happened to be on-site when the catastrophic data loss occurred. It was the lead programmer's responsibility to oversee weekly maintenance of the off-site copy and, well, keep it off-site. An explanatory note from the lead programmer has been attached. S. Luukinen Kilda, the lead programmer of Fortress Accident. The off-site copy was on-site because there was no off-site anymore. Not for me, not after 8 months of crunch. I didn't have a home anymore, so I started keeping it in the basement in the ice bear refrigerator near where I went to sleep. It was perfectly safe there. The temperature conditions were optimal. That's not what her colleagues thought. She's right, actually. Nothing wrong with keeping this type of filament memory in a fridge. The production schedule ends with a few random notes that seem to be added sometime later. 4 months later, by an unknown author. I am the only one left, and it's gotten rather damp here. A few other businesses have gone under, too. Slipstream switched to making skis, and the hairdressers just left, cursing Martinez. They're right, though. Something's seriously wrong with this place. Martinez, all of it. Still haven't got an answer from Lintel about what happened. All I could get were the physical coordinates of the error on the East Insulindian front on that day. Since the computation happened on air, I reckoned it had to coincide with an actually existing location. I have compared the coordinates to a map of Revachol West. Turns out it's only 800 meters from here. The address is Saint-Brun 1147. I am going there to look this thing in the eye. Saint-Brun 1147? That's what the street sign next to the church said. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard. The filament slides out of its glowing nest.
Yes, what is it?
It's getting cold, this late in the night. Time to call it a day. An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, adorned with the expression. The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest. Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for the world to fall away.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street.
Recorded in you, forever, on Faraday.
On and on it goes, for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising, above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep, studded with stars.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time, the smoke in her mouth, the plotted flowers, the faces turning, changing.
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
It's not possible anymore. It's stuck on loop. Whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again. Harrier, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
It's too late. You're not made of nothing anymore. You're something now, Harry. I tried to drown you in the black water, but you re-emerged, kicking and screaming, running. And for what?
For the working class. For the greater good.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth. There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see that it's the world changing around him.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
You can do it. It's nothing. Do it for the city. Go. Do it for the wind. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time. Rise and shine, comrade. It's time to get to work. Despite all the thinking you've been doing, only 0.0001% of communism has been built. It's too great a task to undertake alone. You're going to have to get organized. The condition of your paperwork is irrelevant. All that matters is your commitment to building the World Republic. You must seek out your revolutionary brothers and sisters. Find out how much communism they've built. Then, together, maybe you'll be able to build as much as 0.0002% of communism. But it won't be easy. Decades of persecution by coalition authorities have driven the remaining communists of Martinaise underground. They live underground. These communists aren't men. They're mole people. Possibly. If you have been, it's only because you're a double agent acting in furtherance of your long-term objectives. Listen to this. Do you really think you're the kind of person an underground communist cell would entrust with a mission that requires such discretion? Regardless, what's past is past. You need to look forward to the work of building communism for all. Let your nose guide you, detective. Yes, fortunately, communists are known to have a very distinct smell. We really have no idea what they're talking about. There's no linkage between ideology and olfaction. It's not stupid. It's the greatest endeavor in the history of human civilization. Good luck explaining that to the Tribunal of Revolutionary Retribution. On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair unkempt, wrinkles lining the eyes and forehead. The stash is gigantic. You'll be looking like a pansy without the chops. A fucking pansy. A fresh start looms ahead. Clean yourself up and be born anew. Like an artist with a brush or a master swordsman, you use the small mirror and the straight razor with some soap to remove all that unkempt hair from below the noseline. The sharp blade chafes against your skin, producing a scratching sound. The surface underneath the beard feels tender, the air brushing against it chilly. Beneath the doubt sprouts a new vigor, like you've discarded some bad decisions. It feels as though you've passed through a ritual, emerged from cold water, even. The water reflects back a vague image of your clean-shaven face. Despite the bulbous nose, unkempt hair, and persistent swelling, you look a little younger, maybe. You almost look like a professional.
Yes? Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps, I'm not really sure about this turn of events. I think the mutton chops might have been a better idea. They sort of seem to cover up some of the...
damage.
Either way, good on you. You were saying?
A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper.
Hold on. Looks like he's been dead for a while. I'm surprised no one found him before you came along. Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here. But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
A dead working-class man with a bottle in his hand? Don't deceive yourself. You know who this is.
The woman you met at the book stand? Why do you think it's her husband? The bright blue lining? Well, he's definitely someone's husband. Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive. They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean. Oh yes. Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure. What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the box.
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
No, I don't see anything that points in that direction. For now, let's treat this case as a simple, albeit sad, accident, unrelated to the murder case.
Yes, but what if there's a killer on the loose? 2 suspicious deaths in such a short time frame.
Without any further evidence, yes. It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still a question of identifying the body. From where I stand, I can see 2 options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle. Alright, we've already examined the library card. Let's call the Jamrock Library from my kinema, see if we can learn anything about this Billy Méjean. And while we're there, we should also call the station, let them know that we are taking the case.
That's one brutal motor carriage.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches or skulls.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls yet.